Hi, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your September 6, 2021 Mars trine Pluto reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by Mars trine Pluto? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. At the bottom is our rooted energy. The left-hand side is our inner self. Well, our rooted self is at the bottom. Our inner self is on the left-hand side. Our emotional self is at the center. And our public arena self is on the right. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have strength, which is Leo energy. If we have Leo energy within our natal chart, this is coming through very, very powerfully at our root. But also for us Aquarius, it's just time that we understand that strength is different than the way so many people equate it. And that's going to be at our root during this time. And that's such an intrinsic part of who we are and what we have to understand within this world. That's one of our lessons, right? It moves us then to the 10 of fire, the 10 of wands. There's beautiful illumination coming forward. Oh, that's interesting. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we're born on the cusp with Capricorn, or we have Earth sign energy within our natal chart, it's coming through very powerfully within our emotional self. And then we have the public arena self with the King of Cups. If we're born with on the cusp of Pluto, or we have water sign energy within our chart, the King of Cups is just going to be coming forward. It's just going to be coming forward during this time as kingly energy, as powerful energy. But also in the public arena, we're astoundingly powerful. And not in the way that most people would think that we would be powerful or think of power. And yet it is an unwavering power that we are embracing. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. We have the Princess of Wands. We have to be really mindful of letting ourselves fall into passion, just into the sense of let it burn, let myself keep on going, push harder, go harder, embrace the passion, everything that I want all at once, and let it be the torch that leads me forward. Why this is a bad thing is that it burns us up, and we have to be very mindful of being burnt up, of, consuming or going after or looking at too much, because with Mars trine Pluto, this is a time of intense force, intense focus. We are driven by success and we are led by determination. So we can let this energy absolutely consume us, absolutely be intensely powered by the waking world and by everything that needs to be done, everything that we need to go after. This is a time where we need to find our balance, our understanding, and we need to look at our passion, but not let our passion be the only thing that is us during this time. It sounds like an odd thing to say, especially since our passion and our understanding of our passion comes forward in a way that is quite magnificent. What we also have to be mindful of is other people who are just consumed by something. And it's going to be consumed by something. It's going to be like, I have to move forward this way. I cannot do anything before this is done. And we have to step back from that and say, okay, what do I want? What do I need? It's not like, oh my gosh, there's this great sale on something I've been looking at for a really long time and I have to buy it before the sale ends. That we can be a little bit obsessive about. That's not what Spirit is talking about. It's really saying here that it's only the acquisition that we are going after. It's like the hunt and the kill, and then just leaving the animal in the forest or on the side of the road or something like that, and not using it. We have to make sure that we use everything that we're taking on during this time. Our chakra energy is angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels, is spiritual awakening. Now this is the crown chakra, and what is happening here is that our minds are opening up in such a way, and we are crowned. Really visualize a crown being put on our heads with spiritual awakening, with new understanding and new connection to the spirit world, to what we desire within our lives, to our hearts and our souls and ourselves. And it moves us to strength because we're awakening spiritually. And as an Aquarius energy, come on, that's our thing, to awaken spiritually, to embrace a different path, to move forward in a brilliance and a beauty that is unbelievable. And what we're seeing with strength is that it is not the muscle man strength that we're talking about. It is not the X amount of horsepower, bigger is better type of strength. It is a quieter strength. It is the strength that stands. It is the strength that helps the people out of darkness, that, kisses the boo-boos when kids get hurt. It is the strength of love and compassion. It is the strength of connection and heart. And what happens is that we embrace our universe through that. We embrace our whole world through the heart and through what we desire. And that moves us in strength in such a profound way. And of course, I got so excited about the strength that is coming because it's a strength, Aquarius, that we were made for. It's the strength of compassion. It's the strength of love. It is the strength of seeing what others do not. That I completely skipped over talking about Mars trine Pluto. So again, Mars trine Pluto, it's all about focus. And that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on our strength. We need to focus on our blessings instead of our shortcomings, because we can see our shortcomings. And as Aquariuses, as people who don't necessarily fit into the mold of what the world says we're supposed to be, this is a time that becomes profound for us, because Mars acts on Pluto's divine purpose, okay? On Pluto's evolutionary drive for healing, transformation, and rebuilding. And that's why we're here. We are here to heal. As Aquariuses, we are here to heal. We are here to transform, and we are here to rebuild. To rebuild a world that has been driven in such a way. You can say by industrial revolutions, you can say by the greed of men, you can say by anything that you want to. By hurt and bigotries and whatever it is that is the negative. But we're here to rebuild. And at times it breaks our hearts because we're so connected to the emotional understanding of others, to the emotional world, that we can just close the door. A shutdown Aquarius is not a good person to be around. It's not a nice energy vibration to be around. And so here we're saying, no, I'm embracing my passion, my desire, my heart, my soul, myself. And as I do so, this is a time where we easily express our desires, our passions, and our wants. We easily start to step into who we are, embrace the transformation, and it brings us to a higher energy vibration. It moves us to this change that comes in because we're stepping into ourselves, not who we think we should be, not who we want it to be, not, what others expected us to be, but who we are. And sometimes we have to come to terms with things. We have to come to terms with maybe we're not just like everybody else. But maybe the world is filled with a masquerade. I love to think of it as the Phantom of the Opera's masquerade because it's just such a pretty scene. Where everybody's wearing these masks and trying to be something they're not, instead of truly being who they are. And so here, it brings us to our purpose. Because what if everybody's wearing a mask? What if everybody's faking it till they make it? or never making it at all, even if others assume that they are. It moves us then to focusing on the aura around us, or needing to be aware of the aura around us that leads us to an energy of sensuality, power, and purpose. And why the sensuality is important is because it connects us with the creative part, or the creation part of our being. And again, it moves us to strength. It moves us to a power that people don't see. This is strength through mutual love, not through conquest, not through demanding. And it starts to illuminate our world. I mean, this is such a beautiful 10 of fire, a 10 of wands, because the 10 of wands is being weighed down. But this is the light all being on the ground. And usually with the 10 of wands, what Spirit brings me to say is that we need to stop looking at the mud on our shoes and start looking at the sky above us. Here we have the path lit on the ground. We have to see the cardinal in the trees. We have to see the beauty that is around us. Because we're going to be so focused on either our earthly desires or, how we're trudging along, that we forget the beauty that is around us. And we don't see awe in it. There's a certain wonderment. There's a certain way of the mind to let in awe, to let in beauty, to let ourselves be amazed. And when life becomes too much, when we get too deep in a negative energy space, one could call it depression, everything starts to be tinged with a bit of gray. And seeing the beauty of a sunset, or a sunrise, or smiling at child's laughter, that becomes harder. This is a time when we connect, or we reconnect, with the beauty that is around us, the power that is a part of us, and the healing energy that is raising us up, instead of smacking us down. And it moves us to the Knight of Pentacles, slowly and steadily moving forward. Our hearts are slowly and steadily moving forward. We might want to move faster than everybody else. We might want to have been there yesterday. And that's okay. But our hearts move slowly, because our hearts move assuredly. What we're doing here is we're looking at the seeds that we have planted, the desires that we have. We're not making wealth our aim, but we're not ignorant to it either. Money is important. Money helps the world go round. It makes life easier. But it doesn't make life necessarily better. And what we do here is we slowly and steadily move towards prosperity, abundance, and what we desire. We look at things and we're going to want things fast. Why? Because we're air sign energy. We're the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords wants everything yesterday. And the Knight of Pentacles says, I'm going to build this slowly and steadily. It's like building a Roman road. It's going to take a heck of a lot of time and effort, but it's going to be there forever. And it's like the wind blowing a path through the bush. The bush is going to come back up, right? And that path isn't going to be there forever. And so there's a difference here. And we need to connect with that difference, with the long-term goals of our hearts, our souls, and our desires. And it moves us to the King of Cups. It moves us to love. It moves us to claiming our throne and what we desire and saying, but this is me. And the King of Cups is my favorite king because he has the most sacred feminine energy within him. And I think it's funny because I love the Queen of Swords who has the most sacred masculine energy in her. And I love the King of Cups who has the most sacred feminine. So I think I just love things that are a little bit contradictory. It fits my nature well. And the King of Cups is saying here, I rule only me. I rule through example, through love, and through determination. But the only person in this world I have any control over is myself. And we see this. I see this with my nephew all the time. He's 2. The child is 2. And he's the most stubborn person I have ever met. I can yell and I can scream and I can do all these things and it won't faze him. But when I quiet down and I center myself and I take a time out, and I say to him, we have to have a time out. We have to pull ourselves out of this energy and we need to connect. That's when things start to change. And it's having a timeout. It's saying a minute on the clock. We're just going to sit here. I don't care if you yell and scream, have a terrible time of it. Until we can come back and act better. It's not going to happen. And that's what we have to do here. It's kind of like dealing with toddlers. Astoundingly frustrating. It's kind of like herding cats. But it's necessary. Life is like dealing with toddlers. We have to live by example. We have to look at our energy, our focus, our purpose, ourselves. And see ourselves more openly, more kindly, and more passionately than ever before. And know that we rule, but we rule one person. We are a kingdom of one. It's only us. And it's the most valuable, important kingdom we will ever rule. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of justice. We have to be mindful of getting caught up in saying everything has to be fair. Everything has to be fair at the expense of us. Everything has to be just. It has to be by, the white page, black print, everything spelt out. And not saying, well, let me judge the energy of it. Let me judge how this makes me feel. Let me not put myself last. The judgment is going to be important. The balancing of the scales is going to be important. The balancing of what we desire, of what moves us, and what guides us forward. It leads us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is dreams. And this is the third eye chakra. We are embracing our dreams and what we desire. The third eye is opening to us by letting us remember our dreams, by guiding us with insight and information through our dreams, by opening up the door to what we need, to what we desire, and to who we are more and more through the abstraction of dreams. So it might come in a very odd way, but in a very, very powerful way. We are led forward. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy. And that's the death card. This is Scorpio energy. This is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. And that's part of our strength. And the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, can be the person who has tried to fit in, who has tried, it's like trying to shove I always like shoe analogies for some reason. It's like trying to shove your feet into shoes that are too small or shoes that are too big. They hurt after a while. Your feet blister. It's not good. This transformation is taking our feet out of what isn't right for us and letting us connect to the earth, letting us walk freely and purposefully and powerfully without caring what anybody else thinks. And this is what the death card is. It's the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. Because it's until we do not want that pain anymore that we will not transform. But there's a part of us here who has to be willing to understand that the transformation comes with the release of pain. And sometimes that release of pain is subconscious. It's like, wow, I don't like taking that route to work anymore. I'm not going to do it. Or, you know what? I don't like talking to that person. I'm not going to talk to them anymore. Or, you know what? I'm going to start to go to sleep earlier. It's going to help me out. That type of thing. It can be little transformations that we make within our lives. We always think big, but it doesn't have to be big. That start to move us on a different path. That start to guide us forward towards something we hadn't expected. And moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the 5 of water. Now this card made me cry when I first saw it because I thought, oh, here you have the mama polar bear and her family, and here you have the whole destruction that we're doing to our earth. Yay. You have the emaciated polar bear, the baby drowning, the garbage floating. But here's the thing. I've been looking into polar bears because why not? And the polar bears are starting to mate with grizzly bears, which polar bears are an evolutionary form of grizzly bears. They share enough genetic connection that a polar bear and a grizzly bear can mate. And so we're getting a new species. Now, we could be getting a new species because of horrible reasons. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to argue that. But we can focus on the fact that something may be becoming extinct or things are changing in a way that we cannot control. Or we can focus on the fact that when polar bears were created, the earth changed in a way that could not be controlled. And now it is changing again. And so let us focus on that change. The 5 of cups says change your mind and change your life. Change what you are looking at, and you will change your whole entire world. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that's the 8 of Wands. Everything's going to be happening really quickly, even though we're moving so slowly. It's like all of a sudden, once we start with this slow determination, everything moves so fast. And we have to let ourselves embrace the happening. It moves us to our subconscious public arena. And that's the Emperor. That's Aries energy, Mars energy. That is the sense of claiming our throne, claiming our power, saying, this is me. I'm not apologizing. I'm not backing down. And there's no reason for me to hide away. This is my power. This is my passion. This is what I desire. And this is where I'm headed. Period. End of discussion. I am the ruler here. And I have every right to demand my success. And it's also the most sacred and masculine energy of the kings. Well, because it's the emperor, the king of the kings. So here we have the sense of ruling with the sacred feminine energy forward in the sacred masculine, ruling the self. And then we have the Emperor coming in and saying, but there's a fierceness and a ferocity to me that I'm not going to release, that I'm not going to back down from. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace this Mars trine Pluto. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.